What's cooking, everybody? Wilfredo the Porkchop here, coming at you with the first edition of Porkchopped, my podcast, audio, video thingy, whatever, where I'm just gonna talk about something and just go from there. I'm doing this as a two-parter here, just to kind of see how it goes. First part's gonna be me solo, talking about this was originally what I had in mind for this originally, but then. For part two, I'm going to be bringing in a little bit of reinforcements on that here. My buddy Rob from Reaction Toys. So shout out to him. Follow him on Instagram and on the TikTok and all the other stuff there. I'll put links in the description below, which if you're listening to this on something where you cannot check the link in the description below, well, tough rocks. Go back in your browser history and then on something else and then do it that way. How am I supposed to do that? Because most of the time I watch YouTube or whatever, it's on the Roku or whatever, So how am I supposed to do that? I'm telling you, whoever out there finds a way to make it possible for me to access links, or if I could just have a special thing on Roku where I can hit a button and then it could forward the link to me, on as a text message or something that I can access on my phone or tablet or whatever, that would just be killer. If somebody already knows of something like that, that's fine. Great. Tell me about it, because I don't know shit. All right? And apparently other people who don't know shit, to a point. Well, I'm gonna be fair about this, but I'm not pulling any punches either. Okay? Because you see the topic there that I have listed there. I'm talking about GI Joe Classified. For those of you who have been living under a rock, must be a pretty nice rock under there. What kind of rent you paying under that rock, by the way? But GI Joe Classified is a 6-inch series of action figures made by Hasbro for the long-running GI Joe line, which, if you're unfamiliar with GI Joe, that must be an even bigger rock you're living under. But here's the Cliff Notes version there. If you don't know what Cliff Notes are, this is the abridged version, okay? So basically, GI Joe is a long-running series, military-themed, started in the 60s, 70s, as like the counterpart to Barbie. It was the first action figures. It fell out of fashion when oil prices went down and war was out, with Vietnam and everything. They brought it back in the pro-military Reagan era in the 80s. And it was like one of the first toyetic franchises there that transcended that and became a big success for many years. Prompted lots of cartoons and shows and comic books and movies. Like there's been theoretically 2 movies out there. 3 if you count the animated one that became like a bunch of episodes. It got pulled because of the way that it didn't do very well, and some of the other toy movies didn't do so well in the theater back in the 80s. But yeah, and there's another one coming up now, Snake Eyes, which the trailer looks pretty interesting, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, 3 3/4-inch figures with vehicles and whatnot. Fine, whatever. But the thing is, the Classified is a 6-inch series of action figures, which seems to be the most popular scale of action figures these days. I mean, there's some people that collect different other scales, 7-inch scales, 3 3/4-inch scales, or whatever. That's fine. I'm just saying, from my own experience, it seems like a lot of people have been focusing on the 6-inch scale, which is 1/12 scale. But anyway, I got a very skewed view of G.I. Joe in a sort of way there compared to the 80s properties, because I was born in 1980, and I have love and respect for pretty much all the 80s properties and whatnot there, but I'm going to say this flat out here. I've never been a big G.I. Joe fan. It's never been high on my list there, because compared to other franchises out there that were around at the time, it didn't really hold my interest as much there, Like some of my earliest memories of watching TV were things like, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and The Incredible Hulk 1982 animated series, people with superheroes with powers, saving the day, or a guy who turns into a big green rage Hulk monster, or two factions of alien robots fighting each other, one good, one bad. or the other cartoon of two alien factions, one good, one bad, fighting each other there, or humans in outer space that pilot these big giant cat robots that combine into a big giant robot and fight aliens, or these refugee cat aliens that are fighting against an evil mummy on a planet there while they're fighting off extinction, or aliens, robots, magic, and stuff on this alien planet there, fighting against this dude with a skull face, or four mutated turtles fighting against this evil warlord and this interdimensional brain with a big giant golf ball that's also his fortress. Or, hey, even something like Mask. People that don these special suits and masks that give them superpowers, and they have vehicles that transform into other vehicles against another faction of people with the same sort of abilities, fighting each other, versus military guys fighting a evil terrorist organization. Meh. But I'm going to be fair. I'm just going to be fair now, in all fairness, okay? There is stuff about G.I. Joe that I recognize G.I. Joe as a classic franchise, okay? Not taking anything away from that there, I mean, Duke, Snake Eyes is one of the all-time great classic badass characters, period, bar none. Not taking anything away from that, bar none. Porkchop sandwiches. That's great stuff there. Shout out to Porkchop sandwiches there, But also, knowing is half the battle. One of the all-time classic phrases there from the period there. There's a lot of good stuff they did there, and I acknowledge that, But just the point is, it was never high on my list there. So, I had some of the figures and I had a few of the vehicles or whatever. I knew people that had some of them or whatever, and that's fine. It's cool. That's your meat and potatoes. That's fine. It wasn't my meat and potatoes there. My interest lied elsewhere. But whatever. So I collect things as a kid does. I kind of grow out of it, then I kind of get back into it or whatever. Then I come across the Marvel Legends figures. At the time, I'm doing stop motion animation stuff, and those figures have more moving parts, and that sort of piqued my interest for doing more stop motion animation, because moving parts means more points. More points of articulation means, hey, I can make it look the movement's more realistic there. That was originally what I was going for, as opposed to collecting things just for the sake of collecting them. But then, getting into things there, like, I had the Galactus Build-A-Figure, I had the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure, I had the Sentinel. God, that thing was beautiful. Sadly, I had to sell those when I had to fix my car many years ago. That sucks. I still miss those things. So, I had a few pieces here and there or whatever, but, it kind of just was on autopilot for many years, And then, a few years ago, I come across a video on YouTube about something called Wonderbird He-Man from this channel by the name of Toy Galaxy. With this guy named Dan Larson and his producer Greg. Shout out to Toy Galaxy and producer Greg. And I'm like, this guy had so much cool stuff in the back of his wall there. He was talking about this mysterious He-Man figure. And I'm like, wow, that's a cool room. All right, click subscribe. What else this guy's got? And watching some of the videos that this guy was posting there, and then finding other similar videos by other people, it sort of got me interested in, like, okay, collecting things here and there, to the point where, if you look at my Instagram, in between all the randomness, figure photography and action figure collecting sort of became my new thing again. Mostly the 6-inch scale, but occasionally diving into other things there as well, like occasionally action figure customs and, other crazy ideas and things like that or whatever. But, it's like the fun times there. I even got to meet Larson and a lot of other fellow collectors and photographers and whatnot at this event in New Hampshire a couple of years ago. Hopefully we get to do that again at some point there. I'd like to see everybody in person again. I still keep in touch with quite a few of them there. Shout out to you guys there. Love you all. Peace to every single one of you guys and gals, But, it's a fun community to be a part of there. But a big thing that all of them people were talking about for quite a while was a 6-inch scale G.I. Joe line, which I'm always thinking, like, how would that work? I mean, I always associate G.I. Joes and I think of the vehicles, even though the characters are great and all. I always associate it with the vehicles, the leaping battle ball, or the giant aircraft carrier, or the Cobra Hammerhead, or, stuff like that, That's what I was always thinking of. Are they going to have big giant vehicles to go with these things, It's still possible, but whatever. And then literally when they announced the GI Joe Classified line, literally every single bit on my feed on Instagram was flooded with pictures of these things, and people going like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" You know. And my reaction was like, "Okay, good for you guys. Meh, you know, good. Well, I'm happy for you guys. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's not that big a deal. But all right, good for you guys, I guess. Whatever." And that's what I thought of it. And, a couple days later, I go to Walmart, pick up some supplies, and lo and behold, what do I see there in the toy section but Snake Eyes? I look at him, he looks at me, and he mentally tells me, "I'm going home with you in the wagon." And I'm like, "Yes, you are." I was really impressed with the way it looked. And I was like, "Wow, this is this is one sexy looking figure here. This is nice. I like this. All right, so let me grab this, and that'd be cool." All right. So I bought it and took it home with me. Then, as time passes, I come across a couple of the others occasionally here and there. And, you know, each time I think about it, the time seems to take less for me to, between when I see the figure and when I actually decide to bring it home. So, like, okay. So, I get Roadblock, I get the Cobra Commander, I get the Destro and whatnot, and starts off to be okay, you know. Then, which is fine. But then, lo and behold, they announced the Baroness with the motorcycle, and I'm like, ooh, yes, definitely got to get her. And this is when the problems start, because this is when they started to have the Cobra Island exclusives through Target, and they had like a different version of I forgot his name off the top of my head there. A different version of his costume, and some other characters that didn't really appeal to me all that much there. Also, I missed out on Storm Shadow, the one with the clothy hooded winter ninja sort of look. But yeah, there it was. I was trying to get it, and I kept on missing it. I tried multiple times there, multiple targets, and it just became incredibly annoying and frustrating. I see people, and I see they were going for crazy prices online there, and it was ridiculous, and it was just really, really getting annoying there. I mean, it was even more annoying than when I was trying to get the Casey and Raphael 2-pack of from the NECA Ninja Turtles 90s movie Casey Jones and Raphael 2-pack. At Walmart. I went through 8 different Walmarts to try to find that. And then when I ultimately gave up, when I wasn't looking for it, I came across it at my local Walmart, and of course I snatched it up. And and to NECA's credit, some of that stuff is hard to find, but at least they pretty well will give you an opportunity to order it. It's limited windows, but the fact is at least it is possible to order the product. And, it'll come along eventually. Just have to have a bit of patience, and you can pay retail price. I mean, you got to pay for shipping, but better than paying, secondary damn prices there, if that's not what you want to do, I mean, I don't blame anybody for that does that or whatnot. I'm not, it's not a judgment on you guys there or anything, or people. Far from it there. I'm just saying, on the other side of the coin, because I've been a thrifter, so I've been on the other side of the coin there, so I get it, but anyway, so this was even more annoying than that. I just ultimately gave up, and I found somebody on Instagram that at least I trusted, and I purchased it from them. They're paid more than I probably would have liked to, but at least it was going to somebody that I trusted, so I paid for it, and to get the Baroness, and I kind of was, and then that really soured me on the whole line. I was just like, you know what? I'm out. I don't care about the other characters. I can't do this anymore. Like, why is it so hard to find these things or whatever? Then I saw Spectre Creative's video, I believe that's his name there, on YouTube, where it explains about why these figures are so hard to find and everything. talks about orphan SKUs and stuff like that there. If you haven't seen this video, I highly recommend checking it out there and subscribing to the fella, because he has a lot of great stuff. Because this guy has been in the toy industry, so he knows all the stuff about it there. So this guy knows his stuff, you know. So, when I saw that video, that kind of changed my view on it a little bit, to a point where, okay, I was still annoyed, but I wasn't as angry. So I'm like, all right, I'm still out, but whatever, you know. But still, I hated the whole thing. I still hate the whole thing about the exclusives, though. Bottom line, I get why they do it to a point, but at the same time, it's a thing that pisses a lot of people off, because if you have exclusives that are limited to one thing, and it's something that's super popular, and you got it focusing on such a narrow area there, you got, it's basically the equivalent of trying to fit a watermelon inside of a Coke bottle, through that little opening. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen, and you're not going to have enough room. You know what I mean? Um, and it got to the point where, okay, I'm out. And then when they announced the newer waves that have Lady J, Flint, and Zartan, and even later Major Blood, I posted memes where it's like, okay, I'm not falling for that again, or whatever. But then I saw that they were actually able to be ordered. They weren't exclusives, and it was possible to actually place orders for them. And I did. All right. I'm like, all right. I'm going to place an order for this one. I'm going to place an order for that one. I saw the Storm Shadow, the movie figure, had a pre-order coming up. I'm like, all right. So I can get a Storm Shadow that at least works enough, I will do that. And that's it. Then I saw pictures of I saw Zartan, and I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, you know what? That's it. Then I see Major Blood, and I saw a good deal where I was able to get him at regular retail price from a secondhand collector. Shout out to him. I forgot the name off the top of my head there. And I'm like, all right, you know what? That's it. I'm done. But then they start reissuing some of the figures or whatnot there. And as a matter of fact, right now, the Cobra Island Gray Firefly, I believe his name is there. He just came in the mail today that I ordered. Probably my last order for quite a while anyway. But I tried a couple times to try to get him, and when a lot of people were having the same issues there, but there were a lot of people that were shouting that they had success with being able to order the products there, but there were some that were not there. Because I was working, I wasn't able to catch the live thing as it happened. I caught like the second wind and the second wave of it when I tried to get in, and I wasn't able to. A lot of people beat me to the punch, and a lot of people had success. I was not one of those people. It was only when I kept trying. It's like in B-movie, like the 13th or 14th time of him hitting the head there. What if it actually was successful in being able to get through? That's kind of like how it was, in a way, I just would randomly hit the refresh button on the page I had there, and if it had an option for me to add it to my wagon there, I was like, okay, like quick draw McGraw. Like quick draw. Bang! And boom, I got it. And then lo and behold, today, Super 7 announces Ultimate versions of a handful of figures in the 7-inch scale that are based off the cartoon line. Kind of doing the same thing NECA was doing with the Ninja Turtles or whatnot there. But they look great. I'm good on those, but at least the fact of the matter is, at least you can order those and whatnot there. But this whole thing about the exclusives is just really frustrating there. I mean, if it was on Hasbro's website itself, because there have been some exclusives on the Hasbro website there, a place like Target or whatever there, or Walmart or whatever. I mean, just give people a fair chance to actually acquire the product, Try to have, systems in place that keep bots and people from, like, trying to scoop up multiple versions of them and try to flip them or whatever, and put them out in waves. I mean, I'm certain that's what they were doing at Target, or at least attempting to do there. And I think they had more success with the last time they did it than before with other instances where other things have sold out quickly there. But, it's just, for a franchise that I'm not even, that particularly fond of, it's not worth the aggravation for me. Not anymore. So I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I just can't do it anymore. So, for me, I mean, they're called GI Joe Classified, but it shouldn't be so classified as your ability to acquire the product there, you know? That's not what the word classified is supposed to mean on that, you know? So, as far as I'm concerned, this classified case is closed. And GI Joe Classified, you have just been pork chopped. That's just me hitting a cardboard box there, in case you were wondering there. I know you can't see it or whatnot, but, you know. But that's just my take on the whole thing there, you know. I mean, if you like G.I. Joe or whatever, that's fine. I'm not saying for you to not like G.I. Joe. Far from it there. I'm not telling you what to do there. I'm just throwing my own 2 cents there. This is my own opinion there, you know. I mean, it's a skewed opinion because G.I. Joe was never really high on my list there. But I was willing to give the franchise a chance to grow on me. And I can, you know, go back and retroactively watch cartoons and stuff like that there, you know, and appreciate, you know, the animated Sergeant Slaughter and things like that, you know. But, you know, this whole experience kind of soured me on the whole franchise. So I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I can't do this. So, GI Joe Classified, you've just been pork chopped. All right. Well, that's it for this edition here for part 1. Part 2, it'll be gotta figure out how the hell to do this with my buddy Rob from Reaction Toys. But I'm going to figure out how to do it there because this topic is too big for one video alone. And I want to make this at least somewhat palatable here since this is my first attempt doing it. And if you want to hear more of these stories, things like that there, by all means, let me know. Because believe me, the next topic, if I do more of these, next topic is going to be me ranting about YouTube. Oh man, that's going to be a doozy. And then we'll see what other things I can talk about there, you know. Who knows? Might have some cool surprises in line there. You never know. Anyway, I thank you all for your time. Have a powerful day. Stay safe and all that jazz. Laters.